All right, folks. It is Tuesday night. I'm here with Kyle Elliott, all the way from Tennessee. How you doing, buddy?
Hey Joe, good to see you, bud.
Yeah, you too, man. Nice jersey. Got a
I appreciate
Las
it.
Vegas Knights fan. That's fine. There you go.
Well, I'm a huge Predators fan, but
I was gonna say,
I got it for free. It's nice, and they got a few of our Preds players too, so I'm not too mad about it. And they're a good team, so
I like that the price was right for
right,
something like that. I'll pretty much wear anything if it's free.
exactly my mindset.
That's awesome. So how did you now Scarlet River management got us in touch with each other? I'm just curious how you linked up with those guys. Like, to me, and I'm completely naive to this whole thing, but when I hear UK and country music, I I don't see it. I don't see the connection. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's definitely an interesting concept, but I tried to play to some advantages here.
Hmm.
I met Rachel from Scarlet River, which she's based out of Wales, and
Yep.
then the rest of the companies they're in the UK.
Right.
I met her in Nashville. She was with another artist at the time, and we actually just happened to sit next to each other at a show.
Hmm.
It was completely by chance, and we just talked for a little about what she does, and we became friends, but we didn't do anything right then and there. And then at the beginning of 2020, we kind of touch base again, and we're just like, what, this seems a good thing. We have good communication. We see eye to eye on a lot of stuff, and I was like, Nashville is so saturated
Hmm.
with country music,
Hmm.
and as much as I love it here, there has to be a better strategy going forward.
Right.
I was like, let's push in the UK, because country in the UK is probably the fastest growing genre of music right now.
Really?
Most people in the UK don't have country accents. I was like, this is the chance of a lifetime.
Holy
Move
shit.
in on an industry that I'm so familiar with,
Yeah.
and really capital. So that's kind of the idea behind that, and so far it's worked out pretty well.
Wow, good for you guys. That's genius shit. That's why she does what she does, and that's why I do not. So there you go. That's really
Thinking
cool.
outside the box.
Yeah, totally, totally. So have you had a chance to get over there yet? To, like, aside from your music getting over there, but have you had a chance to travel over there yet?
Well, we're working together in the beginning of 2020.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So there
Everything's
you
kind of
go.
been in a lock, right? We did have plans, but that, obviously that fell through.
Hmm.
We are looking at doing an acoustic style showcase for about 3 weeks this summer. If we can make that happen, we'll take the whole band over there in 2022. But it's all
Nice.
depending on what their government allows for travel restrictions. So
Yeah, I think they're still cinched up pretty tight right now.
yeah, she said they're almost not allowed to go outside. So
Holy shit, that's
yeah,
insane. And you said she's out of Wales, eh?
yes.
That's cool. That's cool. I do a morning show, well, a morning show out of a radio station that's based in Newport, Wales. So that's cool.
It's like what, mid-afternoon here, right?
It's
Or
midnight
it's
here.
midnight
Midnight
here.
here. Morning. It's like 6 a.m. there when I do it. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. Well, how did you get your start making music, man?
Well, it's been an interesting journey. I've always sang. There's video of me when I was like 3 years old singing,
Hmm.
and I think a little bit of that comes from my mother. She was a director when I was a kid.
Okay.
She went back to school to get a degree in vocal pedagogy and vocal education, and ended up becoming a high school music teacher.
Oh,
And
okay.
so I was kind of pushed into doing that, going through grade school, and spent a lot of time singing. And when I was about 13 years old, I would spend a lot in her classroom after school, and she would have after school groups that would meet and sing. And the guys would bring their guitars and they would play and they would have a good time. And, as you're a younger kid, you look up to the older kids, and I was like, that
Sure.
seems like the thing that I want to do. So I got my first guitar at 13, and took me a year to figure out how to play it. I took no lessons, and just fell in love with it. I would probably spend 5, 6 hours a night in my bedroom,
Nice.
and trying to figure out how it all goes. And one thing led to another, and so I decided when I went to college that I would pursue or I would get a degree in music, and it was more of the classical side, which I
Mhm.
was pretty familiar with doing all the kind of classical stuff in grade school.
Right.
But I realized that there's not a ton of money in that, and not a ton of money in music anywhere you go.
Yeah.
but I was like, this isn't really the road that I want to take, and so I went into audio production instead,
Nice.
and found that I really liked the kind of backside of music, and I really fell in love with radio, believe it
Mhm.
or not, which is also
Nice.
a dying industry. But I found podcasting and things like, so I do that kind of
Mhm.
thing. But I also realized I didn't want to sit behind a computer
Yeah.
for 10 hours a day editing audio tracks and stuff. So I was like, this combination of stuff, it makes me happy, but it's like, where do I find my part of it?
Right.
Um, and so in 2011, I contacted my best friend's little brother, who was in an alternative band, and was like, hey, I'm going to school for production. Do you guys want me to come do some free recordings for you guys? And they're like, yeah, sure. So met up with them, and I've always loved multiple kinds of music, not
Yeah.
just country. And they sounded great. And I was like, hey, if you guys need an extra guitar player, let me know. I'd be happy to play with you. And so I ended up playing with them for like 4 years and did backup vocals and with the rock kind of scene, and
Yeah.
had a lot of fun. But it wasn't anything that they were taking seriously. It was just kind
Okay.
of a hobby.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, I've got bills to pay. I can't be blowing a bunch of money on gear when I got a mortgage.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I decided to take my leave from that, and went into the workforce, got a marketing job,
Okay.
hated it with
Yeah.
a passion,
Yeah.
and realizing that the one thing that was missing from my life was music. So in 2016, I really sat down and I said, I'm not getting any younger, and it's either now or never. And so I wrote my first country song, and I haven't looked back. So here we are,
Good for
just over
you.
4 years. It's a wild ride.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. I've heard some of your tunes, what I could find online. Rachel sent me one over. I think she sent me "Come On Over." Is that right?
Yeah, the latest one.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good tune. Admittedly, I'm not a huge country guy. I am from the country. I guess I should say I'm not. I like good country, and I would call this good country for sure. I like your voice. I like the songwriting. Definitely super good songwriter. So I'm excited for you. I think, and if the UK is the next hotbed for country music, I think you're going to probably stamp your name in the right
Well,
where it should be.
we've done good so far.
Mhm.
Come On Over actually charted in the top 20 for iTunes Country in the UK. So it's a
Awesome.
huge step in the right direction. I've
Nice.
made a lot of friends over Zoom.
Yeah.
And when we go to visit, I've got a lot of places I got to stop. So we're really looking forward to that. But what's funny is a lot of people, they say, well, I really like the style. And looking at the music that I've released here in the last couple of years, it's kind of funny because I wrote most of the songs that you're listening to like 3 years ago.
Okay.
Uh, and so my progress as a writer, I feel like has just gone leagues ahead of where I'm releasing. So you hear this and I'm over here doing this. And so I'm so excited to show people how far I've come, because it's been a very, very humbling learning experience to write better music.
Right.
And I think I got way better stuff in the loaded in the gun,
Nice.
ready to be shot out. So
Nice. That's good. That's awesome to hear. So, I guess ideally, in a perfect world, you would be out hitting the festival circuit, doing the summer tours and everything like that. What's kind of what's kind of the strategy right now? Like, how do you as an up and coming country artist navigate this fucking pandemic when you can't play shows? Maybe you can't get the word out as far as you'd like by touring. But I mean, charting on iTunes country that's a good start. It's a good start.
yeah, there's a lot of avenues that can be taken. A lot of marketing companies that'll just take your money and run. But there's also some good people out there that are going to help you.
Mhm.
And it's kind of finding the right pieces of the puzzle to put together. And I think I've done well. I don't think I've done great. There's people out there that are fans of other artists that have 700,000 monthly listeners, and I'm over here and I've got like 1,200 monthly listeners.
Yeah.
So I haven't found all the pieces to make it work, but I think. And we've actually been pretty fortunate here. I'm still playing live shows
Okay.
4 to 5 times a week right now.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
good.
capacity is like half,
Yeah.
which is really, hurts the tip jar a lot.
Mhm.
But we're still playing. We're actually, the band and I are headed to a show in Alabama this weekend. It's 3 nights that we get to
Nice.
play, which is just a huge blessing because we've
Nice.
not had the opportunity to do that in a while.
That's great.
Um, but it's still, it's kind of just being consistent with everything. And that's very difficult to do one person. And having a team like Scarlet River is great, but it's hard because we do have to do everything online.
Yeah.
If I had somebody here, we could, go out and do some promotional stuff on a random Tuesday, but they only come to town like once a year. So that part of it's a little tough, but doing it myself is what I really want out of it. And in the future, when I do have more help, it'll be kind of like, I'm not just going to look at them as somebody that's supposed to be working for me. It's somebody that needs to believe in what I do, like I do, because I've been there and I've done that, and I want them to work that hard. So it's hard because you have to be real, but at the same time, you have to reach a massive audience. And so I try to be, I talk to people at my shows. I DM people that they're like, oh yeah, this is a bot. And I'm like, no, like this is me. Like I'm talking to you because I have to, because if I don't talk to you, nobody's going to talk to you, and you're not going to hear my music. So it's a lot of time, a lot of effort, but hopefully one day it'll pay off.
That's that grassroots mentality, right? Just get out there and pound pavement, as they say, or internet pavement or whatever. But that goes a long way, I find, right? Like taking the time to certainly connect with your audience and just keep in touch with people. Like it's such a wild world we live in now, having to stay active on social media and just let people know what the fuck you're doing, and hope you don't get lost in the huge crush of people doing the same goddamn thing. You know what I mean? Like it's
I
hard. I
hate
feel for you guys, man. Like even myself, like I'm getting so fucking pissed off at social media. Like it's insane. There's
it.
for
It's miserable.
it's miserable. It's
Trying to post all day, every day about
yeah,
this and that, and then do, I do graphic design, to
nice.
a minimal extent, and so I create my flyers, I create my promotions, and
Mhm.
doing all of it, I'm like, I can't keep. I don't want to keep up. Like it's
Yeah,
taking away the quality of time that I could be writing music or playing shows, and
yep,
instead I'm got my nose buried in my phone, and it's just exhausting
yep.
because it never ends. It's just more and more all the time. There's a new platform. And now they want to start making TikToks, and I'm like,
Oh, fuck.
it's just exhausting.
I think honestly, TikTok is so fucked. Like I don't even know how it works. I don't do TikTok or Snapchat. I barely use Instagram. I pretty much only use Twitter and like a little bit of Facebook now. But Twitter's my main
Yeah.
one. That's where I find all the people for sure. That's the easy one. Fuck. TikTok.
Well,
Jesus, that's
I
popular though.
It is, and I mean, there was a song, a girl by the name of Priscilla Block. I'm not sure if you know the name.
Mm,
She's on my level. Like she releases a couple of songs and she's got some bass, but she's not somebody everybody's heard of. She had a
mhm.
song go viral on TikTok, and her song went number one, not in country charts, but on all charts in the U.S. on iTunes the day it came out because of a TikTok. And I'm like, you know, you can't draw like that. Is just a freak accident, and
Yeah.
in the right place at the right time.
100%. I'm just trying to figure out how, like, well, I don't know. Like you said, right place, right time. Like I have a friend of mine who is trying to raise money for her boyfriend to have an operation to try to help him walk again. Okay. And she was able to get that on TikTok by doing TikTok videos. I think she raised like three quarters of what she needed in like one TikTok. One guy saw it and gave her like 50 grand or something like that. Like just boom, there you like, so it is. I guess I shouldn't shit on the platform like when you're using it for something like that. Like that's awesome. But like I give a shit about your silly dog videos and whatever. It's like I don't know what you're doing.
Well, and it's so funny about the stuff that goes viral. My best friend, who's about to be my roommate,
Yes.
he was obsessed with TikTok. Was like, I want to go viral, and I'm like, okay, well, pulls at people's heartstrings. And so he did this video, and it got 4.5 million views.
Holy
And
fuck.
I'm like, it's almost like for things like what you were talking about with your friend raising money, like it's amazing that it can do something that and impactful that quickly.
Yeah.
But the students that it's it's like taking the industry that you work in and then other people making a joke out of it, and more successful when you're working like day in and day out trying to be successful. It's frustrating. So frustrating.
It's very frustrating, but that's, I just think I'm too old for it. Like, I think it's like a kid's thing. And I'm just not.
Yeah.
I'm not a kid anymore. So it's like, what am I gonna do?
Same. Well, and TikTok's a video editing kind of platform.
Yeah.
I mean, I ended up getting my degree in video production.
Well, you should be fucking killing it, dude.
But here's the thing, I edit on like these big softwares on my computer, and TikTok's like this cheeky little Instagram filter kind of thing, and the ratios make no sense. Like the logistics of it are just horribly laid out. But because these kids, like they're not using these programs. This is the first thing that they've ever seen. They're just killing it because it's like born into it. And I'm like, so
you're looking at it from like a trained lens. These guys are just winging shit. You're like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. It's not how it's supposed to work.
And they can throw something together and it'd be great, and get hundreds of thousands of views. And I put like 2 hours into a 60-second video and it gets like 7 views. You know what I mean?
Yes. That's going to be the worst stat for TikTok. It's like, I had 7 views on TikTok. Nobody watched this. There's 10 billion people. There's more people on TikTok than exist in the planet, and only 7 people.
7 people. Yeah.
Jesus. Oh, fuck. Well, I don't know. I guess it's worth a shot. At this point, anything's worth a shot, really.
Anything. Do anything. But you got to be real about it, too. Like, if you go out there and be somebody you're not, then people are going to look right through that, and your 10 seconds of fame will be over faster than it started.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And so you have to be real about it. And that's kind of I think that's the hard part of the equation, is to come up with something unique and creative while also being authentic about it. Because I can go out there and, jump off my house and break my leg or something and post about it, but who is that? That's not me. Like, I'm not crazy like that. So those kinds of things, you have to be real, or else people will see through it.
40 million views. Now can you jump off this? No, I can't. That was one time. That's awesome. Well, what are you talking about music? Is there anything you're listening to these days that you really like? New music, old music, anything like that?
Yeah, man, I've been on a really big kick for probably the past year now, with the Texas country style.
Okay.
And people that listen to country music on the radio only and are not like real big, like huge fans of it, I don't think they really understand the difference, because Texas country sounds a lot like Nashville country, but there are some big key components that are different. Texas country reminds me more of the 90s Nashville, but it has a little bit of that red dirt feeling. And I'm kind of getting into some very specific genre terms here, but the storytelling in Texas country is so much more deeper than like the Nashville 4-chord round off a chorus kind of thing. Like, when a song doesn't go the way you think it's going to go, I love that. I think that's so creative. And so I've been listening to a guy named Josh Ward, who's not very popular. He's got probably 1 million monthly listeners. I'm a big Cody Johnson fan. Cody Jinks, John Wolf. I think he's maybe Oklahoma, but like that kind of style.
Okay.
So traditional, and I love that, because it just makes. I mean, when some of these new country artists are writing about like these crazy metaphors, I'm like, you didn't live through that. Like, that's not real. That's not your story. But when I listen to these guys, I'm like, they
believe it.
Yeah, and I believe it, and that's what I think I love the most about it. Just so, again, being authentic is key. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. Do you you ever heard of Coulter Wall?
I haven't.
No, he's from here. He apparently was found by Jay-Z somehow.
Okay.
I'm not sure. It was a big deal. I was like, oh, fucking Jay-Z signed him to his thing. It's like, okay.
Pull him out of nowhere.
Yeah, literally out of nowhere. I don't even know how it happened, but there you go. He's a country guy.
Right time, right place, right?
Mm-hmm. That was before TikTok, so there you go. You don't even need TikTok. You just gotta get lucky somehow. Well, that's cool, man. Well, take the last couple of minutes here, Kyle. Tell us where we can find your music online. If you got a merch store or anything you want to promote at all, just go for it, buddy.
Yeah, man. Well, I try to make it easy on everybody. Everything is listed as the same name because I
Awesome.
know how confusing that can get.
Hell yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, everything that we've already talked about, all of those, because I've been, pushed into being on that, is all at the Kyle Elliott. And there's 2 L's and 2 T's in my last name. Everybody forgets that second T, and it really throws them off.
Okay.
The website, my home website is www.thekyleelliott.com. And I do have some great merch on there. I've got some awesome camo hoodies, which are, people are loving those right now.
There you go.
And I've actually just launched or relaunched a subscription-based page, which is kind of like a VIP club. It's called Patreon. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
It's like somebody said the other day, it's like OnlyFans, but respectable.
There you go.
So that's what I'm doing. I've got people are paying. It's like $10 a month, and you get like exclusive video content. I do a behind the scenes podcast, and I do like cover videos that I don't release to the public.
Yeah.
And I've got some merch on there as well. But you can sign up for my mailing list on my website and get all those updates and everything. But to keep up with me, subscribe to that and follow me on all my pages. We're actually hoping to get back on the road soon, so maybe we'll hit a town where near you. Yeah.
Yeah, man, for sure. Well, keep your ears to the ground, and I hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy. Good luck in Alabama, dude.
Yeah, we will have a good one. We've and one more thing, I've got a new song coming out on February 26th. My newest single, which is called "Empty," and it's probably the hardest song I've worked on yet. So I can't wait for everybody.
Well, if you want, you send it over to me. Get Rachel to email it my way. I'll play it for you.
Yeah,
on my radio shows. Cool.
I appreciate you.
No problem, man. It was great to meet you, Kyle. I seriously wish you all the best.
Thank you, Joe. Good to meet you as well.
Take care, brother.
Bye-bye.